Good evening and welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Chamud Fernando. Let's have a look at the headlines. Sri Lanka's export income exceeds $9 billion, Subject Minister announces. Foreign Ministry briefs foreign envoys in Colombo on the country's latest developments. Now the news in detail. State Minister for Investment Promotion Dilum Amanugama announced that Sri Lanka has achieved a significant export income of $9 billion in first 6 months of 2024. Additionally, investment agreements amounting to approximately $800 million have been signed during this period. This announcement was made during a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre last week.
State Minister Amanugama noted that the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka currently oversees 15 investment zones which house over 1,500 companies and employ over 500,000 people. The government's new investment program includes plans to establish 7 more investment zones in key areas such as Mangkulam, Paranthan, Kankasanture, Trincomalee, Iranavilla, Hambantota and Bingiriya. The minister said that negotiations have been finalized for 35 projects with agreements now in place. The Kankasanture investment zone is said to be developed as a joint Canadian-Sri Lankan initiative. Regarding the Colombo port city, 46 out of 118 land plots have been allocated to a Chinese contracting company, with 6 plots subsequently returned to Sri Lankan companies.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri convened a crucial briefing at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for the Colombo-based diplomatic corps, focusing on recent developments in Sri Lanka last Friday. During this session, Minister Sabri reiterated the progress made in economic recovery, legal reforms and the strengthening of diplomatic institutions geared towards reconciliation over the past year.
Minister Sabri highlighted the government's dedicated efforts in establishing a Commission for Truth, Unity and Reconciliation, which included the gazetting and tabling of the draft bill in Parliament. As the Minister of Justice, he also addressed the ongoing progress in drafting comprehensive counter-terrorism legislation intended to replace the Prevention of Terrorism Act. He also provided updates on reconciliation efforts under the Ministry of Justice, including advancements made by key institutions such as the Office on Missing Persons, the Office on Reparations and the Office on National Unity and Reconciliation. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, provided an overview of the country's economic revival and outlined the path forward for continued stabilization. Additional Director General of the Department of National Planning, JMSD Ratnayaka, discussed the social safety measures implemented, including the newly launched social protection policy aimed at supporting vulnerable groups. Foreign Secretary Aruni Vijayawardena urged the Colombo-based diplomatic community to recognize and support Sri Lanka's ongoing progress.
Secretary to the Ministry of Transport and Highways, Ranjit Rubasinghe, addressed concerns regarding unupdated driving license. He clarified the reports claiming a decision to cancel all unupdated driving license are entirely false. No such decision has been made. Secretary Rubasinghe said this speaking at a press conference held at the Presidential Media Centre recently.
Rubasinghe explained that a new system will soon be introduced to update the information of nearly 2 million driver's license holders who have not yet updated their licenses, which will be completed by the end of the year. He emphasized that the process will not require new medical records or visits to the Department of Motor Traffic, and no new licenses will be issued, nor will existing licenses be cancelled. The Secretary also outlined ongoing efforts to digitize the transport sector, including the upcoming introduction of a system for managing fines and on-the-spot penalties starting next year. Rubasinghe further mentioned that due to a shortage of cards, temporary driver's licenses were issued to approximately 800,000 individuals, with only 91,000 having received their cards to date. The remaining cards are expected to be issued within the next 2 months, and normal card issuances for new licenses will resume next year.
Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break. Welcome back. The Presidential Secretariat and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Sri Lanka, in collaboration with the United Nations in Sri Lanka, co-hosted a significant national event aimed at articulating Sri Lanka's contributions to the upcoming Summit of the Future. The summit, scheduled for September 22nd and 23rd in New York, is an initiative proposed by the UN Secretary General to renew and strengthening multilateralism in addressing global challenges.
The event in Colombo brought together key stakeholders, including key government sector officials, members of the diplomatic community, civil society representatives, academia, and international partners. In his keynote address, Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri highlighted the importance of mutual respect and confidence in multilateral efforts, noting that double standards erode trust among nations. He emphasized that the Summit of the Future is a call to action, not just another meeting, and that Sri Lanka's efforts are a part of a global movement that will shape the future for generations to come. The Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Aruni Wijewardena, reiterated Sri Lanka's commitment to stabilization, recovery and economic growth, emphasizing the need for a supportive international framework at the summit. United Nations Resident Coordinator Marc-Andre Franche underscored the need for a multilateralism that is fit for the future.
Azusa Kubota, the resident representative of the UNDP, signed 29 memorandums of agreements with community-based organizations on behalf of the Global Environment Facility funded the Small Grants Program. The agreements were signed in the presence of Secretary of the Ministry of Environment Prabhat Chandrakirti and Second Secretary at the Australian High Commission in Sri Lanka, Sophie Gordon.
The MOAs pertain to 20 community grant projects along with 3 capacity development, 3 knowledge management and 3 social enterprise development grants under the 7th operational phase of the program. Additionally, MOAs were signed for 5 community grant projects funded by Australia through the Community-Based Adaptation Phase 3 project. These initiatives aim to focus on environmental conservation and strengthening community resilience against climate shocks and disasters and advancing the Sustainable Development Goals to achieve the 2030 agenda of the UNDP. The program also includes specialized grants focused on enhancing capacity development, fostering knowledge management, and promoting social enterprise development within the targeted landscapes.
The Profood Propack Agbees and Knowledge Hub 2024 exhibition, a highly anticipated event in Sri Lanka's food industry, took place at the BMICH over the weekend. The government-endorsed event was organized by the Sri Lanka Food Processors Association in collaboration with Lanka Exhibition and Conference Services.
This exhibition served as a platform to bring together leaders, stakeholders and decision makers from agribusinesses, food processing industries, packaging sectors and service providers. The event covered the entire industry spectrum, showcasing a wide array of products, services and innovations related to agriculture, processed foods, beverages and packaging. The exhibition provided a vital platform for small and medium enterprises to display their products, build relationships and explore potential collaborations with key stakeholders. The event attracted key industry stakeholders including exporters, supermarket buyers, hotel, restaurant, cafe industry professionals, government officials and farmers. The Knowledge Hub within the exhibition facilitated networking, knowledge sharing and the introduction of innovative technologies and practices in the food industry. A dedicated space for showcasing advancements and innovation in the food industry, allowing exhibitors to present their products to the target market, was available at the exhibition.
Stay tuned for the stock update. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The all-share price index dropped 162.08 points to close at 11,199.58 and the S&P SL20 dropped 64.94 points to close at 3,189.11. The turnover was 0.5 billion rupees and over 31 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe our channel on YouTube, follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.